Instead of Black celebrities who have seed funding money, who have investment money, instead of them investing in existing Black-owned brands, they go off and create their own, as if that does not create competition with smaller Black businesses. So that doesn't create unity, right? How many of these Black hair care brands are partnered with a hairstylist? Welcome back, everyone. This is Griot of the Diaspora, and I am your host, Nakaira G. And today's episode is called Why Black Capitalism Falls Short. The reason why I want to talk about this is because back in the US, there are conversations about the boycott, specifically with Target and Amazon. And I just feel like we have had all of these boycotts and they don't last. They don't really make too much of a difference. Yeah, they hit a couple of pockets every now and then, but I really want to talk about why I think that Black capitalism seems to fall short in the US. Let's talk about it. Okay, so in the wake of DEI cancellations from the Trump administration, several corporate companies canceled their DEI departments, which resulted in firings of hundreds of people entering into the job market. One corporation in particular, Target, has been under fire because during the George Floyd protests, Target developed a Black and brown business department in their stores, specifically the hair care and skincare aisle, and there's also some food products there. However, now corporations have the opportunity to deconstruct their DEI departments, maybe because they didn't want DEI departments in the first place. So it's quite interesting seeing which corporations announced their DEI departments being dismantled within days of Trump's announcements. I want to talk about why these boycotts seem to fall short and why Black capitalism doesn't seem to be able to catch it or catch up. During the George Floyd protests, a Black business movement erupted. During the George Floyd protests, a Black business movement erupted in response to the murders of Black men and women by police officers in America. Organizers, celebrities, influencers, and social media users voiced their opinions on defunding, decolonizing, sticking together in unity, which led to ideas such as Shop Black or Buy Black movements across the country. The unjust murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor were just two of the common names associated with the protests around the country. But the names kept adding to the list. Sandra Bland, Ahmaud Arbery were also names that permeated through social media outlets. Arian Simone of Fearless Fund spoke on Crystal Hazlett's podcast, Keep It Positive, Sweetie. And she said she would have sued Target if she was one of the brands on their shelves. Yet, none of the Black businesses have come forward to sue Target. Real quick, y'all, make sure you download my new ebook. It is a travel planner and journal. I made this about a year and a half ago, and it's really, really cool. There are 10 different entries, so as you are on your travel journeys, make sure you download this ebook. It's only $10, and you can get it on my website today at nakedgoldonline.com. You can download it, you can print it, whatever works for you. Make sure you cop that today. The reason why she said that she would sue Target if she was one of the brands is because when those companies agreed in their contracts with Target, I'm pretty sure the DEI line statement was added into that contract on Target's side. So those Black businesses were brought into Target's corporate structure with the idea of being a part of the DEI initiatives. So now Target is saying, oh, we're getting rid of the DEI initiative since it's not legal for us to have it anymore. But now you have these black businesses that are there. Does that mean that they are protected? But further from the conversation about these boycotts, I want to also break down the pros and cons of having your brand in large department stores like Target or Walmart. When you have a contract with these corporations, the demands of supply you have to make are not only stated in your contract, but you could also be penalized if you cannot supply a certain stock or number of inventory. A lot of the times, the inventory concept where you have to now produce your products in mass, the average black business owner does not have the money for the type of inventory that is expected. And so that's where you see a lot of people having to go get loans and having to figure things out. But what I noticed about a lot of the brands in Target, not most, but a lot of them are celebrity owned. You have Taraji P. Henson, you have Tracy Ellis Ross, you have Jada Pinkett Smith, you have Tabitha Brown. I mean, you have these black celebrities who come in with these brands. Some of these brands are actually made from scratch. Some of these brands are just private labels. But nonetheless, what I'm noticing is that even with the black celebrity tag, the black celebrity somehow shrinks themselves to fit on the Target shelf. But why can't you guys just operate from your own websites and bring the attention and bring the population to your websites where you can get paid for your Google ads? You can get paid for promoting other brands on your website along with your products. I'm very curious, why do people feel the need to relinquish so much of their power over to these department stores? But I'll tell you why. Especially for celebrities, most of them are not hands-on business owners. So they're not the ones making the product, they're not packaging it, and they don't want to be, right? So it's easier for you to have a product in a big department store like a Target or a Walmart, because your manufacturer basically is now in partnership with Target, and now you pretty much just kind of pay third party, making sure that your products get to the country and then it get to Target, and you make sure you have your warehouse and all of that. That is what makes it a pro. But if you are not in a position where you can mass produce and you can pay for such a heavy inventory, it's always going to be advised, right, to have your own personal website and to start small. But what I don't understand is, during the George Floyd protests, the conversation was about unity. The conversation was about controlling our resources. The conversation was about stop utilizing these colonial or European or Western or white institutions, and for us to use the energy that we're no longer using to go purchase things from this department store. We need to be brainstorming and creating think tanks in order to do that for ourselves. And somehow, Black Lives Matter happened, George Floyd happened, and it just resulted in a bunch of companies making deals with Target. And this is why I feel that Black capitalism will continue to fall short. Because instead of Black celebrities who have seed funding money, who have investment money, instead of them investing in existing Black-owned brands, they go off and create their own, as if that does not create competition with smaller Black businesses. So that doesn't create unity, right? How many of these Black hair care brands are partnered with a hairstylist? How many of these, black hair care brands are even using black chemists? It just defeats the purpose. What I would have wanted to see, instead of Beyonce and Rihanna coming out with a hair care brand, I would have wished that Beyonce or Rihanna put out a statement that said, we are looking for a team who can run this business and run this brand. We're looking for beauty professionals, hair care professionals. This is how you sign up. We're looking to create a business full of black men and women, and we want people who are already in the industry to come and work together. Who has done that? Who's done that? Nobody has done that. It's just, I'm already a millionaire. Let me go make some more money. So I just feel like even with this boycott, Pastor Jamal Bryant, said, oh, we're boycotting Target for 40 days. And I feel like y'all boycott Amazon every week, but I don't see it working. Because at the end of the day, the brands who are actually suffering, nobody knows about. And no black celebrity is investing in. So I really want to leave this video with this question. What does black capitalism mean to you? Is black capitalism just capitalism for my individual black self? Is black capitalism a response to Western version of capitalism? Does black capitalism have to mirror Western capitalism, or could it be reworked? Is there a version of capitalism that does not involve exploitation? Now, I can easily argue and say, no, I don't think so. But I'm also not naive enough to think that there isn't a possibility, right? There is always a way to do a thing. There's always millions of ways to do one thing, right? So as much as I feel like the examples that we have had doesn't really show us that it's possible, but I do think that it is possible. I just don't think that we see it, and I just don't think that we have a lot of people in our communities in America who are willing to say, what we are doing is creating competition amongst ourselves. Every state in America should have a #1 black-owned hair care brand. What if every state we could name the top black hair care brand in the entire state? Can we do that? No. But we can say, oh, but Tabitha got some hair products. Oh, Beyonce products. Oh, Rihanna product. But who's the #1 hair care brand in California? Who's the #1 hair care brand in Atlanta? If the only reason why you are #1 is because you are at a department store, are you really #1 then? I'm gonna leave y'all with that. See you next time.